Have you been wondering what you need to have for your classroom as you return to school using the hybrid model? In today's video, I'm going to give you 10 things I think you'll find helpful when setting up your classroom to be socially distant. My name is Lindsay and I run the blog, The Well-Rounded Teacher, where I give you tips, tricks, and ideas on ways to live a more balanced lifestyle. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Please click that red subscribe button down below and hit the bell notification so that you never miss another video from me. Today I'm going to give you 10 items, and I have included the Amazon affiliate links that I have down below in the description. So if I could find the exact item that I'm describing here, I linked that. If I could find one that was similar, because a lot of things are out at this particular point in time, but if I could find one that was similar, I linked that for you down below. So these 10 items are in no particular order. The very first one is a book box. So I have been using book boxes before we had the hybrid model because I like to include that in my reader's workshop time. It doesn't matter what model you're using, you'll be able to use this product. So inside their book box, I have them keep their books and then their math and writing folder, their composition notebook for any writing activities that we're doing, and then also a whiteboard as well. So it really is kind of housing all of those paper or larger types of items. So that all goes in the book box. The second item that I was thinking is helpful is a rolling cart. So I have the 5-drawer rolling cart, and I'm using that for their returned books. So I'm letting kids take some books home from my classroom library just because they don't have a lot of options to read on those days that they're not at school with me. So when those books come back to school, we have a rule set up that they have to be in quarantine or in another container for 7 days before they can be put back out into the classroom library for kids to be able to use. So the 5-drawer rolling cart is really handy because if kids return books on Monday, I can just put those in the Monday bin, and then I know the following Monday they're ready to be dispersed back out into the classroom. So it's kind of a way for me to keep track of the books that are coming in and the ones that are ready to go back out on my shelf. The third thing that I have, and I actually am kind of liking these, and I might even use them after we're not having to worry about social distancing, just because it seems to be really helpful for the kids. So floor spot. I've, used designated areas for kids before, like here, sit in this corner or this carpet area, or, tried to use some different techniques to be able to set parameters. And so, but the floor spots have been super helpful to just kind of give them a space where they know they have to be and they know they have to go. And even in the hallway, it's really been helping, even as young as our kindergarten students, really be able to walk in the hall so much more orderly and wait their turn so much more orderly. So I actually would recommend getting floor spot, even as something that you might use in the future. So there are plain ones if you prefer to just keep it kind of nice and maybe more neutral, but there are also the ones that I got are floor spots that have the positive affirmations or positive words on them. And so they're just kind of fun, and I think it's great for the kids to be able to read those as they're going around. So I'm really excited about using that, and I think I'll continue to use that in the future as well. The fourth thing is whiteboard. Now, these whiteboards that I got from Amazon are small enough that they fit inside of the book boxes, which is really super handy because they can be all contained into the same area. Right now, my whiteboards are actually dual purpose, so I'm using them as the whiteboard on one side, and then the kids can use it on the back to use as a clipboard kind of a deal if they wanted to do some writing on the floor using one of those floor spots. So it just kind of helps to be dual purpose. So anything that works for more than one thing is a win in my book. The fifth thing might sound a little bit funny, but a laminator. So your school might already do plenty of laminating, but I don't know if it's the same as the laminating that we have. So when we have the school laminating our product, a couple of things happen. Number one, you have to wait a while because we only have one person who's trained to use the laminator. And the second thing is the lamination is not always the highest quality. It's kind of thin and flimsy. So So I really like being able to use the smaller personal size laminator just because I can get the 5 mil laminate, and it's a little bit thicker and tougher. The reason I put laminator on this list is because I've been laminating everything. I know we already have a tendency to laminate a lot in the teaching profession. Pretty much can't be a teacher without laminating stuff, but I'm finding that I'm doing it even more now, thinking about social distancing and how to clean things and what I'm going to be doing with that. If things are laminated, it's super easy to be able to spray down, wipe down, wash down. It's not going to be hurt at all by having that lamination on there. So I really would recommend just having that small laminator that you can keep in your classroom, and using the thicker laminate is really helpful for that. The 6th thing on the list, again, a little bit different, is a magnetic peel and stick. I had been introduced to this through one of the trainings that I went to this summer, and it was a really good idea. Since we can't have community supplies and group materials, one of the things that was recommended is being able to create sets of alphabet tiles that are magnetic. So you could have the kids using them on a magnetic board or a magnetic surface. They can make words, or they can make different letter combinations. So they can use the little tiles for that purpose, and you can use them for other things as well. So basically, you can take any piece of paper and turn the back into a magnetic surface by using this sheet. Again, you might want to just check out the link. It was really cool. And then you can just use the paper cutter, like the chalk one, to be able to cut the paper and magnetic tiles up. So it's kind of just a handy, quick way to be able to make individualized materials. So I really liked that. Number 7 is a shoebox. So the shoebox is really handy because it fits right into the cubbies that I have at school, and I'm using it to keep all of their other kinds of materials contained. So things like the game materials that I'm going to talk about in just a minute, their base 10 blocks that they're specifically using just themselves, their expo marker, whiteboard, eraser, all of those kinds of things can stay in the shoebox. So basically, there are only 2 things that they have to bring with them to their table each day. That would be their book box and then their shoebox with all the other materials in it. It's really cutting down on the amount of time that they're up wandering. They don't have to go get other materials, and it is really helping with the social distancing. The next thing, number 8 thing that I have, is the game materials that is going to go inside of the shoebox. A couple of things that I purchased at Amazon that were really helpful. I got some extra dice there, and again, if you get the ones that can be sprayed down, that's great in case you need to sanitize them for another student later. And I've gotten playing cards, which are really handy to be able to play a lot of the different math games that the kids have available to them. And then the last thing I got was counters, so that they can have their own set of counters, again, for math games that I want them to be able to play during math workshop time. Those items were really handy, and then those get stored inside the shoebox so that each child has their own materials and they're not sharing with other students in the classroom. I think we're on number 9. So the 9th thing that I would recommend is plastic pencil pouches. So I've used the cloth pencil pouches before, and I've been told that the cloth isn't really a good idea right now, even though I can wash them. So I don't know, but plastic might be the way to go. Either a plastic pencil pouch or the plastic pencil containers would be a great way to kind of keep some of those materials contained. Basically, I'm just thinking of, number 1, anything that can be wiped or sprayed down, and number 2, if our custodial staff is coming through and using a spray, what can get wet and not be harmed by getting some of that spray on there. So cloth or paper products is just really not going to be great if they get saturated with that spray. So I'm just trying to kind of think through how we can keep those items clean. And then number 10 is setting up for yourself a PPE station. So in this 3-drawer storage container, I have 1 drawer for facial shields or eye protection. So face shields or eye goggles in case you want to keep some of those on hand just for some different situations that could potentially come up in your classroom. I have a drawer for gloves and hand sanitizer. There are only certain hand sanitizers that I can use for myself, and so I can keep those in that drawer just to have some extra on hand. And then of course a drawer for extra masks, both for the kids and for myself, just in case something happens and we need one during the course of the day. So I like keeping all of that together in one area, and it just kind of helps to give me a little bit of peace of mind that I know where everything is and it's easily accessible and ready to go. So I hope that you found these items helpful and that you might be able to use them in your classroom as you're getting set up for trying to navigate that world of social distancing, and maybe you're using the hybrid model this year as well. So I hope that these items can be helpful for you. Down in the comment box below, let me know what are some things that you're thinking about using or that you are currently using in your classroom, in your hybrid classroom, that have been really helpful and that you think others might need to know about. Because I think that the more we can gather ideas together, the better it's going to be in this very difficult and trying time. So again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so now, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye guys.